Okay, so I have two more ideas that I can share with you all. Maybe you will find them helpful. The first one is a way of doing the single beat to make the sound a little bit different. And it's kind of a funny story of how it came to be. I don't think I ever told Chaitanya this, but this devotee Chaitanya, he was at Yugal Kunj for quite some time, particularly at the beginning. But I remember him asking me once, how do you make the sound in the open ring like a sustaining ring? And it was funny to me because the devotee who was really teaching me at the beginning of how to do it, he detested this sort of like sustained ringing sound. He's like, no, it should be clean and it should be crisp and clean. And if you have this like excessive ringing, then that's no good. And then Chaitanya comes around and he's like, I really like how that sustained ringing sounds. Can you teach me how to do that? I was like, whoa, okay. Mental reorientation that I need here. But it was really, really cool because ever since that moment, I realized like, oh, it actually does sound really nice in the right context. So sometimes it takes me a while to get it to really sound good. I need to get, it takes a couple minutes for the sound to come out perfect. So doing it right off from scratch, we'll see how good I get. But basically the idea is, so here you need a little bit more looseness. It can't be so tight because if it's too tight, then it won't ring. So you need just a little bit of looseness here, but not so much that it's flopping all over the place. You still have to have some control. But basically you want to open both of them. And let's see. There we go. That's sounding better. And so you see how I'm just sort of dragging them and letting them ring against. It's kind of coming out. It's been a while. But you can see maybe how I'm sort of like keeping the contact and letting them like vibrate against each other like that. You see that? So that's kind of the idea. And like I said, it takes a little bit. It's coming out a little bit better. So you can practice that. And then in the right context, maybe you want that sort of sustained ring going on. Pretty much for the single beat is where that's going to be, good. The second thing I've gotten some comments about and people seem to like it is these little transitions. I've heard some musicians call them musical embellishments. So you're going through your pattern, let's say a single beat, and then maybe the drummer, because the drummers do this a lot, right? They'll be on their single beat and then they'll like do some kind of fun little thing and then they go back into the single beat, right? You've all heard them do that. So here's maybe one, just a little example off the top of my head. Okay, so those two open ones, this is not part of the single beat, but it kind of makes it interesting, right? Now, those are all completely fluid for me. I have never really memorized any of them. I just sort of let them come out. Like here, I'll see if I can come up with another one. I don't know, something like this. So you can sort of play around with those little intermediate things. I'm pretty sure there's a technical term for that the dholak players can tell you. I forget the term for it, but it's like these little transition things. They can be pretty fun. Now, don't overdo them, please, please, please. Don't overdo them. And when you're practicing them, first practice them in private, because the first couple ones, they might sound a little funny. So if you can practice them in private and get the funny parts out, then when you're in an actual kirtan, then they can maybe sound a little more elegant and make a little more sense, and you're hitting them on the beat. I wish I had maybe a little more technical information for you on those. Like, I know the drummers, they actually memorize certain ones of them, and then I'm sure sometimes they also improvise them. I just ended up sort of improvising all of mine. So like I said, I wish I had some more technical information for you on that. But for me, it's sort of intuitive. I just sort of kind of let it come out. And the only way that this intuitive sort of embellishment stuff will sound good is if you have a lot of practice and if you're listening really well. So please practice and please listen in the kirtan, and think of God and do your Rup Dhyan. Radhe Radhe.